your advice in that aspect for parents?
Well, in full disclosure, this is one that I completely blew early on. Um, I don't know whether it's just my competitiveness or the coach in me that wanted to like fix everything, or the fact that I knew, like, I'm going to say with my oldest, like his goal was to go on and play college ball. So like there's a whole different, it's a completely different world if your kid wants to play at the next level than if your kid just wants to play for I'm not saying they don't want to be competitive, but that's not their goal. But early on, I was just, oh my gosh, like I'm actually embarrassed, and I'm only sharing it because I'm sure there are other parents out there that might be able to relate. But I was intense, and so was my husband. Again, we're both like pretty driven, very competitive home, but um, we would be loud in the stands and talk about the game afterwards and tell him things he should have improved. And I don't want to say like nitpick the coach, but not always, sometimes have opinions about what the coach's call was or things like that. Just too involved in it. And really, what I learned is that my kids needed me to tell them, hey, like I love watching you compete. Like, and I do. I love watching my kids compete. We need to encourage them and tell them the things that they do well. And then what I learned, especially with my oldest, um, because like I know the game of basketball. So what I would decide is out of every couple games, and it wasn't every game, but every couple games, I might see something where I thought, man, he's not doing this right. But how do I tell him without becoming that parent that I used to be that was in some ways damaging, like to my kid? So I started doing that. And again, I wouldn't do it every game, but after the game, after we've eaten, after everyone has calmed down, one on one, not where anybody else can like chip in, where it was just, I would say, like, hey, here are the things I saw you do tonight that I thought were really incredible. I did notice one thing. Would you like to hear it? And I left it at that. Like, I let it be still in the air. And you know what? Because he wanted to be the best, he would always say, yeah. And I realized I had two sentences. Like I could not go into a long, huge, drawn out like this. I could give him two sentences. I noticed when the ball got reversed up the court, blah 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 blah. Whatever it was, and that was it. And I found that it built actually a level of respect and trust because he knew I was coming from a place where I cared about him. B, I never did it in pressure moments where we were in the car ride home, where sometimes things were getting heated or where he was shutting down. It was always after the fact. And I thought that that was helpful. But again, I knew what I was talking about. When it came to football, like I've watched a lot of football, I've never played football. So with my youngest, I always just encouraged, always told them that I loved watching him play. I wouldn't blow smoke. You know what I mean? Like if he didn't play well, I didn't go, oh yeah, I thought you played great today. I would say things like, you know what, that was a great catch on that one pass, or wow, like that was a that was a tough call on that one thing. I might pick a couple things, but I didn't get critical because I didn't know the game enough. And I think that's one of the things I see a lot. There's a lot of parents out there who really don't know what they're talking about, chirping at their kids. And so I guess my key would
Mm-hmm.
be if you don't know what you're talking about, like don't think because you've watched the game a lot that makes you an expert. And B, focus on the support aspect, how to encourage, how to tell them, just keep telling them, I love watching you play. My oldest, Chad, my oldest went from being a D1 basketball player to he's training to be a professional MMA fighter.
Wow,
I am
that's cool.
so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is cool, and I'm proud of him. He trains about 11 hours a day. He is a machine, and he is so focused, and I
man.
am so proud of him. But it is hard to watch. Like MMA, am a basketball person.